Morning, Carl. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Tal. How are you? So
Very good.
I wanted to talk to you a bit about the United States elections. Did you heard that they had one, I guess?
Yeah, of course.
And elections are a time that it's great for people who like to gather data. So there are a lot of open data sources around the U.S. election, and this is a great demo to show a little bit about how to do extract, transfer, and load processes using Azure Data Tools. So I do want to show you a little bit today about the tools that we can use to do a very efficient and load very large amount of data in Azure. So here we have a CSV file, which I downloaded from some open source data source, which somebody gathered the election results in every country, in every county, in every state, in every county in the United States around the last elections. And this is a lot of data. The first thing we usually want to do with this kind of data is to translate it. See, it comes in an Excel file, which is not a very good extension to use when it comes to data. Usually you want to work either with per cat files or CSV files or a text file. It doesn't really matter. Usually you want to go with per cat because they're structured. So we need to extract the data from that Excel file that somebody gathered and make it into a per cat file or a CSV file, so we can do some calculations about it. Maybe find out which are the states that got Joe Biden got the most votes, or I don't know where Trump won. And the first way to do it is go to Azure Data Factory. So Azure Data Factory, as some of you might know, is a tool that allows us to create, extract, transform, and load pipelines very easy and very graphically in Azure. So if I create a new pipeline, and we've talked about Azure Data Factory last time, so I'm not going to go into details about it right now because I want to show you more about Databricks and how to do complementary calculations around Azure Data Factory. But if I create a new pipeline, let's call it the US election demo pipeline. Oh, sorry, in Hebrew. Okay, I call it the US election demo, and I do a basic copy tool. I create a new data source. I'm going to do it very quickly. So I'm taking a delimited file from a blob storage, using some service that I already created. I need to select the files. They're already in that demo folder. So if I go to the demo folder, I have a file. See the Excel file. And I'm telling Data Factory that to take the schema, to take the data structure and the header names from that file. So when I go to just quickly, when I go to preview, I will be able to see a preview of that data. You see, I have like a couple of columns there that's saying, okay, this is the state, this is the county, this is the candidates with Joe Biden. By the way, I wasn't aware that there are more than two candidates there, but basically there were five, like liberal and green parties, and they even got some votes. You see, which is very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't know about it. And I need to create a sink. A sink is where I put the data. So let's say I want to put that data in some per cat file, for instance. So I create a per cat file, and I'm telling it to use the same service as before and put the file in the same place as we had before. And if I go to the mapping, I can quickly see, as we minimize your video here, we can quickly see the columns and the column name that will be on the destination if we debug that file. So the debugging is just a quick way of running Data Factory pipelines without publishing them and scheduling them. The process will run in the background. We can see the input or the output or the data that it gathered. We can even look at these glasses and see some statistic about the amount of data that was copied. Once we have that file ready, if we go back to our storage account, and we can see that it writes a new Parquet file there. It was already there before from the last time that I ran it, but it wrote a Parquet file. You can see that it was created today, and today's date on the 9th of November. Now, the next thing that we want to do is do some calculations around that Parquet file. So I've chosen to show you this around Databricks. So in Databricks, I'm connecting to my storage account. I'm putting the key here. You can feel free to copy it because I'm going to change it in a few seconds. I'm selecting where I'm gonna copy the data from, maybe the file types, which is a Parquet. I'm connecting to my storage account, and then I'm reading it. This time I choose to read the CSV file, not the Parquet, but it doesn't really matter. I could choose to write Parquet here. So if I run this command, you can see it going to the cluster. And it's created what's called in Python or in Databricks here a data frame. A data frame is basically a variable that holds the entire data frame, the entire data. If I do a display command, you can see that it quickly translates all the data that we saw before into a table that I can work on. And if I write some very quick Python script, just to go with that column that says, okay, take the one that says vote, convert it because it comes in a string format, convert it to a number, and then with that number do a quick summarization of the number of votes, and I want to display that number like this party summarized, so I can tell Databricks to print the sum, and then you can see that we had total of a huge number of rows in there. Yeah. Another advantage using Databricks here is that you can quickly jump between languages. So here I was working in Python, and this, which is a great language to do data analytics on. But here I wanted to work in SQL, so I can quickly jump into SQL and do some very quick SQL commands there to just to put the group by country and party and see the numbers, and then with that result I can create graphs. I can switch back to a table or a graph or maybe I want to create a pie chart from it and look at that data. The last thing, in order to make it a complete ETL, we need to save the data back to some CSV file or some Parquet file and upload it back to the storage account, so we can have that Data Factory use that file. So we have like a new file, I call it partysum.csv, and I can always go back here into Databricks and choose to have it run.
Oh.
The same one that we used before, and then with the results, okay. This is the US selection one. So with that results, I can always tell him to copy that data back. Take that result because I know it created a CSV file. I can tell him to take that result and like load it back into, let's say, a Cosmos DB or any other blob storage or any other form of database that you want, and then use something like Power BI to read all the data. So this is basically it. Like something about the US election.
That was great because I like the idea that you can use a couple of different languages on the Databricks and just work on the same data with no problem.
Yeah. Each one can use whatever it feels comfortable. It can use Scala, it can use R, it can use any other of those data scientist languages. So thank you, Tal, and have a great day.
Have a great day.